Hey guys, welcome back to Blue Collar Dirtbagger. So today I'm coming straight off the couch on a Sunday afternoon. I got some nice stuffed cabbage in the oven. We're gonna do something a little different today. So following the Huracan back in February, I decided to give a trainer road training plan a shot. So I went with the AI option. I punched in Rockstar, which is coming up in 3 weeks, and then I put my A race as the Colorado Trail. Uh, they don't let you put in races that big or multiple days, so I pretty much set them up as stage races and then just put 15 to 18 hours a day for each day of the stage and did as many days as I thought each event would take me. So let's go over here to Training Peaks and we'll just start right there back at the Huracan. So the Huracan was February 7th. Let's scroll back to that guy. So February 7th, here we go. Here's the Huracan. So the Huracan took me 43 hours, 55 minutes with a whopping 2016 TSS. I'm not sure if my TSS is accurate or not because I didn't run a bike with a power meter for that. I just rode that one by feel. So the number could be higher, the number could be lower, I think, if I ran a power meter. So the following week after Huracan, that's my training plan. I didn't even start it yet. But anyway, Trainer Road was giving me red days. So, I mean, I drove back this Sunday, the 9th, from Florida. And then I just took, including that Sunday, 4 days off the bike. And then I did a super easy, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just on the trainer, just to get my legs spinning and get them a little bit loose because I was feeling it after spending that much time on the bike nonstop. So then we'll jump to the week of February 16th. So this is when I got Trainer Road pulled up on the right, Training Peaks on the left, so we could kind of just scroll through both of them at the same time. Um, so the week of February 16th, I still wasn't back to work yet um, with my seasonal layoff. So normally Mondays when I'm working, I don't do anything on Monday. Mondays back to work. I normally take the day off of training because just getting back to work is hard enough on a Monday. But since I wasn't working, it looks like I did an hour on the trainer. Nothing crazy, just a 16 TSS. Um, Tuesday was my first day of intervals on my training plan through Trainer Road. So it had me doing an hour of sweet spot intervals. Let's see what it had me doing. So an hour of sweet spot. We had, let's see, 4 by 8 minutes at 88 to 94% of what it depicts my FTP at, which back then was 269. Since then, it's brought it even lower on me. Which indoors, my FTP is anybody's FTP is always going to be way lower indoors than outdoors. So, and I mean, it seems like it's pretty accurate to me. So I had those intervals that day. Wednesday, I took the day off the bike. It looks like I got a horrible night's sleep. I only started with a body battery of 40 Wednesday. Thursday, I jumped into my next day of intervals, which was again sweet spot, probably similar. At first, it started me with a lot of sweet spots. So we had, let's see what we had that day. Yep, 5 sets of 7 minutes. Same thing, 80, a little bit lower, 83 to 89% of FTP. So I got it set up to do my intervals Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But some Saturdays you'll see as we scroll through, I don't do my intervals Saturday. So then that Thursday, typically, or that Saturday, it seems like my threshold intervals always end up on Saturday. So it looks like we had some over-unders looking at the graph. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so 4 by 5.5 minute over-unders going from 94% to 102%. So, and then the following week, we went into more intervals. I guess I'm not going to break down every single week and every single interval. It's going to take too long. But you get the gist. The 24th, we had more sweet spot intervals. Wednesday, it looks like, I still wasn't back to work. I went back to work the first week of March. So I took advantage of this week while I still had some time and I got a bunch of yoga in too. So Tuesday, I woke up in the morning, hit my intervals. I added 30. It looks like I added 30 minutes of zone two to this Tuesday's day of intervals, which you'll see I do quite a bit. Uh, then I went and did yoga. I don't remember what kind of yoga class it was, but and then Wednesday it looks like I did yoga in the morning, followed by an easy 42-minute spin. Thursday, more sweet spot intervals, and it looks like again I added 30 minutes of zone two to this Thursday, and then followed by I went to another yoga class after that. And then Friday, same thing. I did some yoga, and then it looks like, oh, I remember this Friday. So this Friday, all the new little routes on Zwift in New York City, it looks like I just did all of them to just finish up all the routes in New York City. So it ended up being what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, about 40 minutes of riding on that day. Because Friday is normally my recovery day and day off. Saturday, I had threshold intervals, which my threshold intervals are typically what, 75 minutes. So it looks like this day I added 45 minutes of zone two after my threshold intervals, and then went to a yoga class, probably with my wife on a Saturday. Sunday, it was recommended a recovery day, so I did a pretty easy, probably a little bit lower than zone two recovery, hour 6 minutes. And we're all the way down to what? March 1st now. So March 1st brings us over here. So you can see it a little better over here. So March 1st, I had a pretty big, decent week, 419 TSS with all my intervals. The previous week, it was only a 202 TSS week, and that was the first week of my intervals. And then we'll jump down. So the week of March 2nd, I ended up picking up this previous weekend. I picked up a used set of rims, Hunt 50s, to throw some road tires on my gravel bike since all the gravel's been muddy here and the bike trails weren't quite ready to ride yet with the freeze thaw. So figured I'd get some roadie action in. Uh, Same thing. Tuesday we had an hour of sweet spot intervals. Easy spin on Wednesday. Thursday more sweet spot. And oh, but it looks like for some reason this week. Oh, you know what? This week I had picked up strep throat from Junior. So these first few days I was on antibiotics, and despite being on antibiotics and having strep throat, I still jumped on the bike for 30 minutes just to keep loose. Friday, I finally started feeling better. As you can tell, I hit a yoga class, did a 30-minute spin, did some weight training, which my weight training I do periodically, but I'm horrible at recording it, so it's not going to be on here every week. Then an easy. Oh no, that wasn't easy. Saturday, I got back into doing my intervals. So Saturday the 7th, we did more threshold over unders. This one I didn't add any zone two after I was still on antibiotics at the time. Uh, Sunday, it looks like me and my buddy Theodore. That's when I went out with the first ride with my road wheels on the Crux. And what did this ride end up being? Let's bring it up here. I think we did like 102 miles, 103 miles. Let's bring up some numbers here. Yeah, 5 hours and 55 minutes, normalized of 204. Does it give me my distance here? Oh yeah, 102 miles. So that was a good ride, mostly paved. I did bring us on some muddy sections and stuff. Theodore wasn't happy when his white shoes got covered in mud. And then maybe halfway through this ride, the wheels that I picked up used started creaking really bad. It lasted maybe 20, 30 miles, and then the creak finally went away. So I was like, oh, maybe it fixed itself. Uh, so following this ride, it actually beat me up pretty good, that road ride. We held a pretty good pace. I think we had 19 or 20 average for the time we were out there. I mean, it says 7 hours, but that was with stopping at delis and cafes and stuff along the way for resupply. Following week, let's see. Let me scroll down just so I could double check here. Yeah, so this following week after that, I got my wisdom teeth out on this Monday. So again, back on antibiotics, teeth pulled out. I wasn't supposed to do. I got them pulled Monday morning, so they told me don't do anything for at least a day. So Monday, Tuesday, I didn't do anything. Um, I went back to work the previous week. My first day back to work was March 3rd, I believe. Um, yeah, March 3rd, because I took this Monday off. I was supposed to go back this Monday, but the strep throat was still killing me, so I ended up not coming in, and I came in this Tuesday. Um, and then Monday the 9th was my wisdom teeth. I took those 2 days off. Wednesday, I jumped on, just did an easy 45 minutes, then jumped back into my intervals on Thursday. Let's see. So, I mean, it should be the same thing all the time. Oh, no. So, Thursday, it didn't even have me doing intervals. Oh, this, you know what? It landed perfect. So, my wisdom teeth ended up being on a recovery week. So, this was an easy week. I think every fourth week, Trainer Road tends to give me like a recovery, just endurance all week. So, despite it being an easy week, this Saturday I signed up to do the International Women's Day brevet out of Philly. And like a knucklehead, I instead of catching a ride with Jim, I was like, go bigger, stay home. So I ended up getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, rolling out by 3:45 to ride from my house to Philly, which is about 70 miles. Oh yeah, 3:55 a.m. heading to Philly. Road bike on the towpath. Oh, it's supposed to be 40 degrees. It's fucking 30. And jumping on and doing the brevet from home. So it ended up being 130 miles total. The night before I left, they were claiming it was going to be 44 degrees that morning, but it ended up being 32. So it was a cold ride on the road all the way to Philly. I ended up stopping at a McDonald's and asking them for some of the plastic cooking gloves so I could put them on under my gloves because my hands were freezing. Um, During this ride, by the time I got to Philly, that back wheel was creaking like a son of a gun. So I knew something was wrong with the bike, the wheel set. So I had to get something done with that during the week. Um, then it looks like Sunday after that day. I mean, that was 10 and a half hours on the bike with a 300 TSS. So Sunday that day, I did an easy 20-minute recovery ride. And then the following week, I want to say that this probably gave me red days. Yeah, so it looks like, oh no. So Monday, it gave me a red day. So I took the day off, which I'm back to work. So that was a day off anyway. But it looks like instead of doing an hour of Sweet Spot, it only subscribed me 30 minutes of Sweet Spot that day, which was probably, I want to say maybe what, 12 minutes? 2 by 12s? 2 by 13s at 92%. So not horrible, even though 13 minutes isn't great. Um, so then Wednesday again was, what do we have Wednesday? Wednesday was an easy endurance day. It gave me only 30 minutes, but I ended up doing an hour. Thursday was another sweet spot day. It looks like this was what? Maybe another day, maybe 3 by 12s this time. 3 by 15s we had on Thursday. Friday I took off, which is typical for me when I'm working. And then Saturday I went out. I did a 3-hour road ride from home with a TSS of 166. Uh, let's just bring it up here. Normalized power was, what are we not going to give me any stats here? Huh. Maybe it'll come up on Trainer Road. Nope. So it looks like maybe my power meter died that day, and I didn't get any power numbers for that day. So that Saturday, I did a 3-hour roadie ride. Um, Says TSS of 166. I don't know how true it is if my power wasn't working. And then Sunday we went out, and I went up to Stevens with my buddy Kurt and did a 3-hour and 40-minute mountain bike ride. Finally, because some of the trails are finally starting to dry out. Um, this day was 219 normalized power for 3 hours 40 minutes. TSS of 169. So pretty good Sunday on the bike. The following week, which brings us into this last week, Monday was a day off. Like I said, I'm working again, so we're not training Mondays. Tuesday, dove back into my intervals. That was Tuesday the 24th. So after the weekend I put in, I guess my TSS was a little high. So Monday was a red day. Tuesday wanted me to do recovery spin, so I did the hour recovery. Wednesday it had me 30 minutes of endurance, a little bit higher than recovery. This past Thursday, this one kicked my butt after work. It's always, I can't do it in the morning. I don't know how guys could get up in the morning and do intervals, but I can't do it, especially at 4:30 in the morning. Uh, this was a doozy. I think this was 2x20s. Yeah, 2x20s at 92% with just a 5-minute recovery in between. This one hurt. I had a hard time hanging on for that one. Um, and today's was a tough one too. So following that Thursday, Friday was my day off, and oh no, not today. Yesterday's intervals. So yesterday it gave me. We had, as you can see on the chart here, I died off here. Oh, you know what? I stopped right here to lube the chain on my trainer bike because it was making some god awful noise, and I was having a hard time holding the power. So I was like, oh, maybe it's the chain. It wasn't the chain, it was my legs. So it was, oh, this one was a doozy. We had 5x8 over unders. And yeah, as you can see by the first two, I was ready to pull out after this one. I didn't think I was going to be able to hold on. And I almost just got off it and was like, you know what? I've been building up enough fatigue between getting back to work the last 3 weeks and then hitting these intervals 3 days a week. I, uh, I almost stopped. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not a quitter. So I just kept going. This one, I started off, I wasn't hitting the numbers, but then I pulled through the rest of the way. And that brings us into today, Couch Sunday, which I was supposed to do 2.5 to 5 hours. Oh, the dogs are home. We got Mia, the mush. So today I was supposed to do 2.5 to 5 hours of zone two, but I've been building up a lot of fatigue between the intervals and being back to work, so I ended up pulling out, and I just did. What did I do today? Just an easy hour downstairs. I want to say probably at like 130. So we'll just bring it up. Normalized power was, yeah, 132 watts. So nothing crazy. The wife's tiptoeing behind me. So yeah, that's what my training's looked like since the Huracan. Nothing too crazy. 2 or 3 days of intervals a week. Throwing in some longer stuff on the weekend. Uh, I mean, Training Peaks is telling me that my fitness has been massively declining. I mean, this week I'm down to a 60 fitness where I got a feeling it's basing it a lot off of time on the bike, which I hate. It's almost like Strava, how it tells you your fitness. You know, you put in a massive week and your fitness goes through the roof, which I never understand. Um, because back when I did Huracan, it had my fitness at, where are we? 93. So that long week on the bike bumped me up to 93. But now since I've been doing much shorter weeks, because it's not a 50-hour week, my fitness just keeps declining, 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 declining. And the way I feel, there's no way my fitness has dropped like that. Actually, the trainer road, I'll say it's been working pretty good. I think it's been helping a lot. And then mixing in, like I said, some Saturdays I won't do my intervals because some days, I mean, it's just tough to do 3 days of intervals a week. You could burn out pretty quick from doing it. So I typically stay true to the Tuesday, Thursday. Saturday, like yesterday, it was freezing cold outside, so I didn't feel like going outside and doing a long ride. So I was like, screw it, I'll just jump on and do my intervals and call it a day. And I had a bunch of yard work and other stuff to do around the house. So, and then a surprise 40th for a friend of ours. So it was a busy day. So yeah, that's what my trainings look like. So far, I like the Trainer Road program. I am in the works of speaking with Ignition Coach Co about maybe getting a coach, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, I mean, when you're doing these ultras, how much is the coach really gonna? I haven't found a coach out there yet that specializes in doing multi-day racing. So most of them are more at the most like marathon, cross country, 30, and then a little bit of ultra to like now you got coaches that do, the longer gravel races and stuff. But I mean, you're still, what are they? For a slower person, 12 to 15-hour races, the top guys are finishing in under 10 hours. So it's not the same thing. And I mean, if somebody knows somebody that does coach and has experience doing multi-day races, like I would love their information to get in touch with them and talk to them a little bit. So yeah, that's our boring on the couch video. Going over to training a little bit. I'll keep you guys updated as I go through this trainer road up until Colorado Trail Race and let you know how it's going. And if I opt to get a coach and deviate from doing this trainer road, I'll also let you guys know. I plan on, now that it's finally getting nice outside, it looks like this week's going to be a real nice week. Uh, Taking some gear outside and maybe setting up my lightweight stuff and doing some gear reviews just to get more content on the channel and hopefully bring in some more people to watch and follow along. So yeah, welcome, not welcome. Thanks for tuning in to another episode, and we'll see you guys soon.